Sitting up at the start here for the grand final of the Women's Division III Varsity 8 event. As we get ready, we have in lane 1, Franklin and Marshall. Lane 2 is Bryn Mawr. 3 is St. Mary's. 4, Rochester Tech. 5, Marietta. And in lane 6, we have Stockton. So this Women's Division III Varsity 8 event just about ready to get underway. All boats are still working on that point. You see lane 1 sculling it. So we were kind of talking about this a little bit earlier, but for those who may be confused, you can see the bow seat has handed her oar to the 2 seat in front of her. This allows them to kind of adjust the point without propelling the boat forward and out of the stake boat too much.
Right, we get sideways movement rather than forward movement. So you want to stay locked into that stake boat there. You have your stake boat holder holding on to that stern. It looks like the crews are kind of starting to get locked in here. Not really sure. There we go. There we go. Lane 3 getting locked in there.
And keep an eye on the tower here for the flag to go up, letting you know that all crews are sitting ready. And the flag is up. And the flag is down. And we are off here in the grand final for the Women's Division III Varsity 8. Again, Franklin and Marshall, Bryn Mawr, St. Mary's, RIT, Marietta, and Stockton. So a little bit of context here. In the semifinals earlier today, St. Mary's won semifinal number 1 with a time of 7 minutes and 54 seconds. Just about 6 seconds out in front of Marietta and 14 seconds in front of Franklin and Marshall. In the second semifinal, RIT won with a time of 7 minutes and 51 seconds. Only 7 seconds in front of Bryn Mawr and only 13 seconds in front of Stockton. So through 300 meters here, looks like RIT out to a really great start so far in lane 4. But again, St. Mary's, who won the time trial and then won the semifinal with a nice start as well.
Right, and again, coming out of lane 6, we don't want to dismiss any of those outside lane crews because already we're seeing Stockton trying to put a mark here on RIT in lane 4. So we have RIT as a leader. However, on the outside, Stockton, who is overlapped by a few seats. In between them sandwiched is Marietta there in lane 5, still bow to stern to Stockton in lane 6, so not completely disconnected from the group by any means. And then we will go over back over to lane 4, RIT, our leader. And then it is basically reverse order here. So lane 3, St. Mary's, lane 2, Bryn Mawr, and lane 1, Franklin and Marshall.
Yeah, so just about 500 meters into this one now. You see there in the orange, the girls from RIT striking out at a really good pace here through the first 500. I like the rate that they've settled into. They look calm and collected, and hopefully we can see them try and hang on to this lead here because I know St. Mary's is going to make a push because I can already see it in those oars from St. Mary's. They look really calm.
Yeah, I have RIT rowing at about a 35, and I'm checking Stockton over in the far side, also a 35. Okay, again, that is our clock, just watching from the screen. But if they are going stroke for stroke, then I can almost guarantee, I'll put my money where my mouth is here. Again, I'll be careful, but this is going to be quite a race.
Yeah, RIT looking really good so far. Stockton starting to make a nice push here as they make their way through the 600 meter. They're approaching the 750 meter mark. We can see them here out our window at the 750 now. You'll see it right there on the south side of the river in just a moment. And then here we have a nice idea of how this is breaking out. All right, let's call it RIT in first. In second place, St. Mary's. In third, Stockton in lane 6. Closely following Stockton, though, is Bryn Mawr in lane 2. And then off the pace a bit from Bryn Mawr is Marietta, although not completely disconnected. And then Franklin and Marshall in lane 1, a bit off the pace. Here's a really nice shot from our follow launch as we see the boat from Stockton really fighting there with our lane 3 St. Mary's. I think based on this angle, I think they're a little bit down on St. Mary's, but that's not to mean that they can't claw their way back up. There you see the 1,000 meter mark on the north shore over there as RIT continues to lead from the front.
So again, actually right here in the forefront of our screen, we're looking at Stockton right now. We were talking about those aggressive finishes just a few races ago, and I think we're seeing it again here in Stockton. And I'm not sure if that's going to pay off for them quite yet. But again, we do have some water to play with here. We are not quite there, but you can see how aggressively they're pulling those handles into their bodies as they swing their hips open, grab that blade handle, and pull it in very, very aggressively, swinging it away. So the back end here of the stroke, very aggressive, in and out, in and out. So getting a little bit of bounce here in the boat. But again, they have done very well making moves with this. So this is clearly working for them. We can see them in the foreground here.
Really close shot there, showing you kind of some of the work that these rowers are putting in and the strain it puts on pretty much every muscle in the body. You saw the shoulders, the arms all tensing up there in that Stockton boat as they fight for second place with St. Mary's and Bryn Mawr. RIT continuing to lead, but they've maintained this length lead for far too long. We'll see now as they approach 1,250 left to go. If St. Mary's can't continue to kind of climb back through it, it does look as though St. Mary's has a little bit of speed there in lane 3, at least for the moment.
And here, as we listen to the coxswains urging their crews on, we see RIT in lane 4, but it is their race to lose because I'm keeping an eye on St. Mary's in lane 3 and Stockton in lane 6. Again, don't give up on Stockton yet. They are still in the game. And across, it looks like we are looking at St. Mary's here. Is that what I'm seeing? Oh, that is RIT, excuse me. Lane 4 there. Now I see their bow number there. The current leaders right now rowing very long. You can see how they lock those blades in and keep them in the water just a teeny bit longer, which means they might be at a slightly lower stroke rate here. I'm going to see if I can grab that for you in just a moment.
500 meters left to go now for our leaders, and you can see here RIT maintaining a lead. We just saw their coxswain start to look out over the boat. She can sense that St. Mary's boat. She's trying to make sure that they're not gaining on her. It does look as though St. Mary's is starting to pull up just a little bit. RIT maintaining their lead. We can't see them in this shot, but it looks like Bryn Mawr out there might be in line for this bronze medal rather, as Stockton continues to try and fight to stay in medal position. RIT looking really good here. St. Mary's trying to make a last-ditch effort. The red buoys are about to come. RIT looking strong. There's St. Mary's. We can see them. They're starting to gain just a little bit with each stroke. A bit of a steering adjustment potentially needed for RIT here as they head into the final 250 meters.
Not too much, though. What do you think? It's the power and the speed of the energy of the crowds here as they come down to the last 250. We see the crowds on the shoreline here. If you are not there, you should be, because you want to see the finish of this race here. RIT holding off St. Mary's here, and gosh, I'm having trouble keeping track of all of this because constantly things are changing here. Look at Stockton here on the outside, but again,
yeah,
the one
Stockton
to watch.
Making a great push.
Exactly. We're seeing it here, though. RIT followed very closely by St. Mary's.
Yeah, and as they come to the finish here, it looks like it's going to be RIT able to hold off St. Mary's here for the gold in the Division III Varsity 8 final. Stockton took on that challenge from Bryn Mawr, and now it looks like Stockton may challenge for the silver medal here. St. Mary's is going to be able to hold them off. It's RIT, St. Mary's, Stockton, and Bryn Mawr finishing in 4th. A great finish there in the Division III Varsity 8 Grand Final. And as we wait for Marietta and Franklin and Marshall to finish, we'll take a brief moment to hear a message from our sponsors before we move on to the women's and men's Varsity 8s.